Okay, so we're going to do the iron block now, and I've kind of have it laid out here on a larger design board in sections. So I know I need to sew these two together and the bottom onto that before I can add that piece. And this little section here, have to sew these two, then add the side pieces before I can add this side and then top. And so it's just a process of elimination. So I think I'm going to start with the bottom first. When I have a block with a few more pieces like this, I like to just do one section at a time just to make sure that no mistakes are made. Okay, now I'm going to look at the pattern, make sure what I can add first, and I'm going to move up to my handle section. Grab another square. I like doing a bonus quilt, two things at once. Again, you can just run just a simple square through if you want, but I figured if I'm sewing, I might as well be sewing two things at the same time. Okay, so now I can add this piece. Normally I'd be sewing all of the iron blocks at the same time, so it's not just one piece at a time. I'd be chain piecing every section, but since I'm just showing you one block, I'm stopping and starting quite a few times. Okay, now this handle piece will fit on the top. So I don't know if I mentioned before, but I had already sewn on the easy corner triangles on all the rest of these blocks that I'm showing you, just like I showed you in the first block in the checkerboard star. So now I can join that piece. Now I can just check my pattern, make sure everything is lined up correctly. Okay, so now I can sew that section onto there, and I'm gonna at the same time sew this little section here. That little piece goes up there. Okay, so now I can sew this to this, then it will go to that piece. Okay, see, that should line right up there. It's the little pieces like this that's really important to press your seams open. Such tiny little patchwork. But by doing that, it really helps to get them accurate. Okay, so now the top is all pressed and flat, and we can work on the bottom. So I can see that this strip is too long, so I need to trim it off. This strip should measure the same as this. Let me bring it over to my mat. Yeah, it should measure 8.5 and it's 10.5, so I'm just gonna cut a couple of inches off. Whoops, I cut it wrong. There we go. Quick fix. Okay. Now I can add this onto the bottom here. move my squares out of the way. So see how this meets up perfectly right there? That's a good thing. I always check that before I press if I'm worried about a seam like that, so that I can unsew and fix it a little bit. Okay, now that fits there. Give it a good open press. Sometimes you can use your fingernails to open it a little bit so you can get the iron in there. Okay, now I just sew the top into the bottom. I wanted to show you how I fussy cut. So there's on that text print, so you can write some fun little words on your iron knob. Okay, I'm just looking at seams that need to be matched up and making sure they will. Making sure the ends match. Looks good. There's a lot of seams in this one. I probably will use my little trick where I like to lay it out like that with all the seams open. Smooth it out, put something flat on it and then something heavy and let it cool like that. And then we can move on to the next block.